Hello, everyone, and welcome to an extra episode of The Real Me and a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where it's about anything, everything, and anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and hey, guys, this has been a motherfucking tradition for the past 3 years. And me and my co-host, basically, we do 2 shows each year, guaranteed, and then I sprinkle him in throughout the year whenever it's a good movie. I don't want to bring him on for a shit movie like, hey, Terence, you want to come on for Bye Bye Man? No, he does not want to come on for it. So, I gotta pick and choose. But the 2 guaranteed ones for sure that I bring Terence on for, and we've been doing this for this is our 3rd year to do it, is we go over the Oscar nominations for one episode, and we will actually go do a live coverage of the Oscars itself, the full 500 hours, and we just give our commentary over it. And occasionally we will have fights like we did last year with Steve Jobs and The Revenant. I still remember, like, we were all over that category, and we're just like, no, this is going to fucking win. No, this is going to fucking win. So it's always fantastic. But I'm really excited to talk about the 89th Academy Award nominations with Terence Page, my cohort in the Academy episodes. So, Terence, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite days of the year. Honestly,
yeah, it is. It's an extra special day because it is Terence's birthday. So this is his day, his week. So this episode's for him. So everyone, hit him up on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Tell him happy birthday, and just another year, because Terence and I both have January birthdays, so we both feel older every single January. So yeah. It's always fun. All right, so so the 89th Academy nominations, Academy Award nominations dropped this morning, and of course Terence and I are not like gonna wake up that early to do that shit, so we do it at night for you guys to relax a little bit. So we're just gonna go over each category starting from documentary, and we're gonna shoot on up. We're gonna go on the IMDb list, so if you want to look at it with us, you can go to that. And what we'll do is the same thing we always do: go over each nomination, and then Terence and I will both have a who should win and who will win. So I'm sure we'll have some conflicting choices with that. Because what's really funny, Terence, because like we don't really talk about the Oscar nominated movies until this very moment. So I really don't know your thoughts on some of them, but like I still read Terence's blurbs on Facebook and stuff, and so I have a general idea of what he liked and what he disliked. So I think we'll be on the same page. I don't know. We'll find out. But just as an overall type of impression, what did the nominations do for you this year?
For the most part, like for me, 2016 was a so-so year compared to like 2014, 2015. I mean, it was a lot kind of like mediocre, but the last few months in the year were kind of pretty good. So when the nominations came out, I was kind of satisfied with most of the nominations that came out. A few of the ones I would have seen, been in there, but I'm not going to be like irate about compared to years past. Yeah. But for the most part, yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with the nominations in all the categories.
Yeah, I am too. There was a lot of really nice kind of mix-ups where you're like, oh, we have a sci-fi film, or oh, we have a coming-of-age film, or oh, we have a musical, or oh, we have a Western thriller. Like, it's kind of cool. Like, this year is just a nice group of films being nominated, and I'm really excited to go over them with Terence. So let's not waste any more time, guys. This is gonna, it's gonna be a lengthy episode. But we're professionals by year 3, so we don't go too long, unless we disagree on something. Then we'll fight. So let's start with best documentary feature, and the nominees are Fire at Sea, O.J. Made in America, I Am Not Your Negro, 13th, and Life Animated. Now, for me personally, I've only seen one of them. I've only seen 13th, and that was the Netflix documentary, and it was fantastic. Ava DuVernay made that movie. I also heard the OJ one was great. I heard I Am Not Your Negro is really great. I've never heard of Fire at Sea. That one's kind of new for me. And Life Animated, actually, I didn't see it, but it actually premiered at it didn't premiere, but it was at the Dallas International Film Festival last year. I almost saw it because I am in Dallas. I attended that festival. Didn't get around to it, so I've only seen 13th. I can't really. I honestly don't know because I've only seen one of them. Terrence, what about you? Have you seen more than me on this one?
We are in the same boat, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw the same exact documentary, which is
Right.
13th. So I heard OJ Made in America was really, really good,
Yeah.
really good. So I gotta check that out. 13th, man, that's a documentary. I would like to have seen maybe the Ivory Game, dealing with elephants and the ivory tufts, on Netflix too. That was a really great documentary. Doesn't play like a standard documentary, it kind of plays like a movie, so to speak. But so I can't really argue with the ones on here, but honestly, 13th is my favorite one on there because it's the only one I saw. So
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree because that's the only one I've seen. But so Terrence, you have your pick for the Ivory Game. I wish Tower would have snuck in there. Tower was such a great film about mass shootings and whatnot, and that was my fourth favorite film of the year. I don't know. This is really tough. Okay, I will tell you this. If 13th wins this is really big for Netflix because Netflix did have a nomination in the past with Idris Elba for Beast of No Nation. But if this wins, Netflix is going to be unstoppable at that point. Okay. But just like what Terrence said, it's actually split up into 3 parts on Hulu right now. But OJ in America, Made in America, I heard was fantastic. I gotta get up on that. But I also heard I Am Not Your Negro is fantastic as well. So, I mean, Terrence, which way do you think they're going to sway?
It's kind of hard. But personally, I would go with 13, but I probably think it would go with OJ, Made in America, because there's so much buzz behind it. So I'll probably go with OJ, Made in America.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tough.
I know. I think they're probably actually going to either do 13th or I Am Not Your Negro, which I'm still uncomfortable saying considering I'm talking to Terrence right now. But that is what's called. People, I'm not just saying.
If you say it, it's a true statement though because you're saying that I'm not your Negro. It's kind of true. So
that's true. That's true. I mean, Terrence. I mean, if we want to get a little serious for a second, since you are an African American male, I mean. What is it like to see 2 documentaries that? Well, I mean, we've only seen one of them, but 13th was super powerful, and I've heard the other one is very powerful too. And what do you think about just seeing both of those and OJ in the same category? Like, isn't that crazy?
It is crazy because it's like you don't get a lot of those documentaries, especially on the Black culture, a lot. So to get some type of recognition, I mean, if it's not for movies or anything. But for documentaries on important subjects that deals with racism, slavery, and everything, it's a major accomplishment though. Because when you think about, especially for 13th, because Ava DuVernay directed it, and she's a Black woman, so even more so for that. So to see that even getting some type of recognition, it's kind of amazing though.
Yeah. I listen. If you guys watch 13th, you'll be so pissed off at basically what Nixon did, and because I always knew that Nixon hated Black people. I mean, he specifically says that in the movie, and it's kind of disgusting that they would target drugs and shift the blame over to the Black community like that. Like, it's disgusting behavior. I fucking hate it. I'm sure Terrence was the same way, where I had my fist balled up and I was like, if Nixon was in front of me right now, I'd fucking gut punch him in the dick. I'd just be like 2-punch dick, stomach, boom. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 13th, and I think Terrence is probably gonna pick that one too in the long run because that's the only way we've seen. But I wouldn't be surprised if OJ was the winner. But yeah, no, it's a great bunch right there. So let's move on to best achievement in visual effects. We have the surprise pick, Deepwater Horizon, Kubo and the Two Strings, Rogue One, The Jungle Book, and Doctor Strange. Terrence, I'll let you take this one.
That's something. That's some visual effects. The visual effects, with that category, I can see kind of Jungle Book taking it though. I wasn't really impressed with a lot of them this year. Jungle Book was one of those movies. The story couldn't be subject or whatever, but I thought the visual effects were kind of shaky to some extent. Honestly, I'm honestly kind of surprised Deepwater Horizon was nominated though. With a movie like that, even though I know it's visuals in there, but something like that I wouldn't expect to be nominated. But you know what? I'm really surprised that, not surprised, I'm really happy that Cuba and the Two Strings
Yes.
got nominated for visual effects because that movie is just so beautiful to look at. So I'm glad that got nominated though. So this is, and I didn't see Doctor Strange, but in Rogue One, what they did in that movie, though, a lot of people didn't kind of like what they did with certain characters in that movie, but it wasn't on my personal list though. But for that accomplishment feat for that, what they did with one character, I kind of think it's a tough one to go with. But I gotta go honestly with Cooper and the Two Strings because I've been reading about how that movie looked from beginning to end.
Really?
Story, yeah. I love, like I told Brian this before. It's like Cooper and the Two Strings is one of the best looking films I've seen for an animated movie. And especially how hard it is to like do stop animation. That's one heck of a movie to look at. It's so wonderful to look at, honestly.
So are you going to pick Kubo as what should win, and what do you think will win?
Kubo should win, and that probably what will win probably be Jungle Book.
Okay. Believe it or not, I'm actually on the same page as Terence, like across the board. I think the Jungle Book will probably win. Either way, Disney's got a 3 in 5 chance of winning, regardless. With Rogue One, Doctor Strange, and Jungle Book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Jungle Books will probably win. But I think I agree. Rogue One, I didn't really care for the movie, but visually it was breathtaking. Doctor Strange was trippy as shit, and it was really well done. Deepwater Horizon, a lot of people slept on that movie, but what Peter Berg did made that explosion look so real and grounded. Are you fucking kidding me? And that's Deepwater Horizon is not a blockbuster. It's just like it's a middle movie. Mm-hmm. But Kubo and the Two Strings, like Terence said, it's stop motion. It's a good mix of that and CGI. Just the opening scene alone when they're on the ocean like that and it's fucking raining and stormy and shit. And I'm like, how the fuck did they do that with stop motion and computer? It just looks so flawless and whatnot. So, yeah, I think we're actually in agreement on this one. Terence, what would you think the dark horse pick would be? I'm going to go with Rogue One.
I'll probably go with that because I haven't seen Doctor Strange. I'll probably go with Rogue One too.
Okay.
Especially what they did with that particular character and look decently real.
Yeah,
I'll probably go with that.
Okay. Well, there's nothing really much to talk about. We pretty much agree on this one. So, all right, moving on to okay, so we have sound editing and sound mixing. Now, guys, I went to film school, but I'm going to be completely upfront with you. I sometimes have a hard time deciphering the difference between editing and mixing. The best way I can describe it is sound editing is putting sounds together, and how they kind of transition from one sound to the other. Mixing is taking all of those sounds and making a cohesive mix of everything. That way it kind of all plays out fluidly and not one sticks out. So, I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. But for sound editing, we have Arrival, La La Land, which is going to be the first of 14 nominations, Deepwater Horizon, Sully, and Hacksaw Ridge. For sound editing, to be honest with you, I mean, I think La La Land's probably going to get it, but I really hope that one of the 3 disaster movies actually gets it, because when you think of Sully and the crash sequence, or you think of Deepwater Horizon and its blow up sequence, or Hacksaw Ridge and that whole final second half of the movie, the sound is incredible and really kind of immerses you, whether it be a plane crash and you're feeling the plane kind of going down, or Deepwater Horizon, you can feel the fucking heat from the flames and you can feel the explosions, or Hacksaw Ridge. The way Mel Gibson told his sound mixers and editors to fucking edit the bullets whistling by or the explosions going off and you have the dirt hitting their fucking helmets, it's visceral. It puts you in the experience. So what should win is Hacksaw Ridge, but unfortunately I think La La Land will probably sweep most of these categories. So yeah, La La Land's my will and Hacksaw Ridge is my should. So Terence, what about you?
You know what? Again, we agree on another category.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, it's the only thing I would say. Is like I probably put Sully over Hacksaw Ridge though, but I would love both of them to win, honestly, because like you said, Hacksaw Ridge and the way you see that editing in that movie is so amazing.
Mm.
The bullets flying, everything. It's like Mel Gibson directed this movie to the best of his ability, and Sully, especially when that plane crashes.
Yes.
Like the way it was edited, it was like so wonderful, like to see like the engines roaring from the airplane, from the crash, everything. When I walked out, and I saw something. I saw it at AMC Prime. So yeah, I saw it like the seats shake, everything shook, and everything. So that maybe probably swayed my opinion on the movie for editing part. But that movie is well edited as far as that goes. So I like you said, La La Land will probably win, but Hacksaw Ridge and Sully should be the two leading horses there, though. Even though, but I would probably go Sully over Hacksaw Ridge just by a slight edge.
I really hope we're right, because though any of those three picks, Deepwater, Sully, or Hacksaw, would be my pick for any type of sound category, just because of how visceral those disasters were. Because the only thing in La La Land that's like, I mean, I know it's gonna probably win, but like, I'm just thinking like, what the hell is so impressive about the sound besides the music? Now, I know that like when you do like Foley artistry, you gotta do the footsteps, you gotta do the rustling of the clothes and all that stuff. All that stuff counts, and I'm not negating La La Land, but it's like I'd rather see the other three.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
However, mixing is a different story, because only 3 of them come back up from editing. We have Arrival, Rogue One, which is interesting, 13 Hours, which is even more interesting, Hacksaw Ridge, and La La Land. Terence, I'll let you take this one. Do you feel like there's going to be any difference throwing in a Rogue One and 13 Hours besides the other 2 that were in editing?
Honestly, not really. No. And then with this category, 13 Hours is pretty good with the mixing, because that's a movie that you can tell it's like edited nicely when it comes to like all those bullets flying and everything. But yeah, there's no really much of a difference though. Only thing, La La Land probably has a better shot at this one than anything. But for me, I would just probably go with Hacksaw Ridge as my possible win. But probably will win would probably be La La Land, honestly.
Yeah. I think I'm with you still, and I think my second dark horse pick would probably be Rogue One, and the only reason I will consider it is because the ending battle in Rogue One and the war scene in Hacksaw Ridge kind of have like the same level of me in terms of like just sound and how bombastic, but how fluid it is and how it's mixed. So unfortunately, La La Land, like we say, is probably going to win, but our pick is definitely the war film, because I think if you can sound mix and sound edit a war portrayed on film, that's fucking impressive in itself. And Terrence, our first Oscar coverage that we did together, were you there with me like when they fucking tied in sound editing with 0 Dark 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was our first one. We were like, what the? They can fucking tie in a category? What the hell? Yeah. Like, how do you do that? Just cut the Oscar on stage with a pair of scissors and be like, here's your half. You can take the head half. We'll take the legs.
You take the bottom half.
Right?
Yeah.
So, all right, so yeah, sound mixing, sound editing, like we both want the war film to win, but it'll probably be La La Land. All right, so here we go. This one I actually am okay with praising La La Land, but best achievement in music written for motion pictures, so original song. La La Land has got 2 of them, one of which is the audition song. The other one is City of Stars. Trolls, Can't Stop the Feeling. Moana, How Far I'll Go. And Jim, the James Foley story, Empty Chair. I've actually heard of the James Foley story. Jackson recommended that movie highly. Okay. But that's kind of cool. It snuck in a song category. For me personally, I'm going to keep this short and simple. It's City of Stars. It just is. I know a lot of people really love the audition song, and it's a very eye-opening moment for Emma Stone's character in the movie, but City of Stars is so goddamn catchy. Like Terrence, when the movie was done, I was City of Stars. I was fucking prancing in the bathroom while I was taking a whiz. I was like, that's right, Gosling, you just like got in my head. So City of Stars is my personal pick, and believe it or not, I think it's a should and will situation. I think City of Stars will probably sweep it. That's my pick, so I'm okay with that. Terrence, how do you see it?
Well, I'm about to call you Jackson. Well, Chase, this is the one that we kind of disagree with. Like,
all right, here we go.
So, like you said, I agree with every last one of the ones nominated. I haven't said The Empty Chair, James Foley, so I haven't heard that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like Audition a little bit more than City of Stars.
Okay.
Both songs are great, honestly. I love both songs. It's like, when I was doing my list, I was like, first it was Audition, then City of Stars. Then a week later, no, City of Stars and Audition. So it's like, I can't choose what I like. And then Can't Stop the Feeling. That's a song that's really, really catchy.
It's catchy as shit, man.
Yeah. And then How Far I Go by Moana. That's a great song right there.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Honestly, I would like to have seen maybe a couple original songs from Sing Street be in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, like maybe Drive It Like You Stole It, or the one from Alan Levine. What's the one from Alan Levine? I think it was Go Now. Which is plays at the end of the movie. But the ones that are nominated here, La La Land probably will win. I would like to see Audition win. Probably will win, but my heart's kind of tied with How Far I Go with Moana, because it's like it's a great song right there. So it's kind of hard for me to pick, but probably will win. I would like to win Audition. We probably will win. I'm probably gonna go with Audition again, with Dark Horse probably being maybe City of Stars again with La La Land. So for me, this one's kind of like a toss up for me though. Anyone will win.
All right, Terence, I'm going to hold you to that, man. Like, when we cover the Oscars live, when we have our sheets ready to go, you're probably going to choose Audition. I'm probably going to choose City of Stars, so it'll be really great to see who wins out on top. Either way, La La Land's the winner, but it's
pretty much
specifically song. But yeah, I am totally with Terence. Where in the fuck is Sing Street? Like, Drive It Like You Stole It was one of the best songs from last year. It was so catchy. It moved the story. It was sung very well. The guitar riffs were really great. How can you not put that on here? It just makes no fucking sense. So yeah, either way, La La Land will definitely sweep this category. All right, this is going to be a fun one. Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures Original Score. Jackie, Moonlight, La La Land, Passengers, and Lion. Terrence, you take this one first.
All right. Now, when I do scores, scores are usually for me, to put them on my list, I have to remember them after the movie's ended, and it has to stand out for the story and how to progress the story like you did for original song. Mm-hmm. For me, a La La Land, I don't remember the score too much. I remember the original song, and I think that's probably what drowned out the score. For me, heads and above the rest, I think I would go with Jackie. That's my favorite score of this category. Passengers is good. Moonlight, I don't remember the score too much. Lion score is pretty good, but Jackie is the one for me. When it first starts out, it's a little like you've taken it back a little bit. It's a little like it hits you in the face, but as it progressively goes along, you love it because it's very somber, very hits every note for every scene, and it works well for the movie. So Jackie's for me that should win and will win.
Do you think Jackie's actually going to win, period?
Yeah.
Wow.
It should, yeah.
I think you're right, though, is that as much as I like La La Land, I'm not like, having a raging boner over the movie or anything, but Terrence is right, though. The songs are what you remember, not the overall score. I don't know, man. This is tough.
Yeah.
Because let's not count out Lion, because Lion was pretty good too. That whole first half with the kid is some really great accompaniment with the score. I gotta agree with Terrence though. As much as I think Moonlight is like the most perfect thing that I've seen in quite some time, the score is the least memorable thing about it, which is not a bad thing. While in the moment while watching it, it's fantastic. But he's right, I really don't remember it. Jackie, I do remember. I remember specific kind of musical notes for when they were in their interview, for when the assassination happened, when she's going through her grievance processes. Like, it's just... I agree with Terrence. I think Jackie should win, but unfortunately, since it is a musical and it's probably going to fucking sweep, La La Land's probably going to be it. I don't want it to because I want to see a little, award throwing around to all movies, not just La La Land, but we are on the same page with Jackie. I hope it wins. It should win. But unfortunately, La La Land's going to sweep it.
Yeah.
And moving on to my favorite category, because we finally get to call it an Oscar-nominated movie now. Best Achievement in Makeup and Hairstyling. They always pick one movie where I'm just like, never fucking heard of that. And this is the movie I've never fucking heard of. A Man Called Ove. That's fun. Move it out of the way, because it's probably not going to win. All right. So the other two, as much as I fucking hate the movie, I cannot believe Suicide Squad is a Oscar-nominated picture. Gross. All right, and then Star Trek Beyond. I'm gonna put this to bed right now. Star Trek Beyond should and it will win.
You know what? I'm not going to argue with it because this is a category I can kind of care less about because I look at Suicide Squad, which I liked a little bit more than you did. You look at the categories, the options that you guys like. Okay, I'll take Star Trek Beyond for it. You know, so.
And like, it's not just because I don't like the Suicide Squad. I've never heard of the other one. It's that the makeup in particular on Terence, what's her name? The chick with the sword legs from Kingsman.
Oh yeah, I forgot her name too. She has a sexy name too.
Anyway, she plays the main villain, and she's like in the white and kind of black streak makeup. That's some damn good fucking makeup. When I watched them, I was like, that's some really good shit. And when you think about all the creatures, kind of like with Star Wars and stuff, and Star Trek, the creatures that they kind of inhabited with the makeup and CG and whatnot, and the specific hairstylings of Captain Kirk or Spock or whatever, it's good stuff. Like, so that would be my pick. I think it will win, to be quite frank with you, which is kind of cool because that movie needs a fucking boost in ratings because I thought it was a really fun movie and it just got swept under and people just didn't see it. But all right, so yeah, that was quick. All right, all right. This one is also a fun one. Best achievement in costume design. We have Allied, Jackie, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, La La Land, and Florence Foster Jenkins. Terrence, I want to hear your thoughts.
This is kind of like a tough one for me. I didn't see Fantastic Beasts and I didn't see Florence Foster Jenkins. I didn't see that one, so I can't really get my arguments on that. Mm-hmm. But I think the two leading ones, Allied has some good costume design because it's a period piece. So is Jackie. So it's like, for me, it's a tie between Jackie and La La Land. La La Land's probably going to take it, but I kind of like Jackie's costume design because I'm a sucker for period pieces. And to go back to like the 60s and to have those costumes there, I'm a sucker for that. Mm-hmm. But with La La Land, the costumes there, it's good. And with La La Land, to the credit to Damien Chazelle, it kind of feels like a early 60s type of movie. Yeah. And the costumes feel that way. But to me, I gotta go with Jackie as for my favorite. Will win, probably La La Land, but Jackie for me is my favorite one in this category.
We agree once again.
Oh wow!
Don't worry, don't worry, folks. We'll find some arguing when we get closer to the bigger ones. But I totally agree, though. When you watch Jackie, the costume design alone on Natalie Portman and really capturing what Jackie Kennedy wore back in the day, I thought they nailed that pretty accurately. And just like what you said, like the whole time period thing with the 60s and whatnot, one of my favorite attributes about 11/22/63, the James Franco miniseries about stopping the assassination, is they really captured the 60s very well with the costumes, the production design, and the cars and whatnot. Jackie's the same way, and when you have the powerful filmmaking behind it, it really kind of like, it looks like a documentary. Almost. It doesn't even look like a movie. It looks like they captured this footage and they cut it together to make it look like a documentary narrative. So I'm totally with Terrence on this one. I hope Jackie wins, but La La Land will probably win it. All right. Well, which is very interesting because La La Land and Jackie are technically set kind of in the same time frame in terms of like Jackie's historical nature and La La Land's like homage to the 60s. So that's kind of interesting. All right, so production design. Arrival, La La Land, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Passengers, and Hail Caesar. Okay. believe it or not, I'm gonna pick some wild cards as my favorite. I'm gonna kind of go against the grain because I honestly think it's some of the best parts about the movie. I'm having a hard time picking between Hail Caesar and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them for my favorite. And now, I didn't really care for Hail Caesar, like, at all.
Yeah, me either.
But there is no fucking denying that they captured... Like, every time when they would go to each studio and each set, it looked like a silent film. And that to me is just kind of impressive on that regard. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, it also takes place in the... I believe the 20s or whatever, so I think that looks really nice. Passengers, I don't understand why that's in there. I kind of do. It's very metallic and very shiny and glossy. It's not really like anything where like, oh wow, that's really kind of great and variant in its production design. It's just all like futuristic type of garb. La La Land will probably win this because of the end sequence is pretty awesome. That production design alone just really kind of showcases all silent movies, but fuck. You know what? It's not the best movie in the world, but I'll give my favorite nod to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. But what will win and what I will put down on my list when we actually fill this out is La La Land. So, Terence, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with you with Passengers. Passengers is more like a metallic type thing, more futuristic. And honestly, I think I would put more. It has a better chance of winning visual effects than anything than this particular one.
Yeah.
Hail Caesar, the production side was pretty good in that one. It's hard for me to remember that movie. It's like it was so like meh.
It came out like a year ago.
Dude, it was like so far away. And then plus the movies we watch. It's like if it doesn't stick out as great, then you have pretty much forget it. Yeah, but like I said, with La La Land, like I said before, it feels like the '60s, and that's what I think helps with the production design. That's what makes me go for it more. So I'm probably going to go with La La Land for that factor because, like I said before, it feels like the '60s. It feels very, like you said, it has an homage to that time period, and the production side has a great pays tribute to that. So I'm going to go, what I would put on my list is La La Land for actually winning it.
Okay. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to disagree with you. When we actually print out those ballots, I will probably put La La Land as my pick. So it is nice to like see a bunch of others in there that, aren't La La Land and we can discuss them. All right. So now we're getting into some of the bigger, this is, from this point on, we're going to be getting into some of the bigger hitter stuff. So, I'm really curious to see how our matches match up. So best achievement in film editing: Arrival, La La Land, Hacksaw Ridge, Moonlight, Hell or High Water. This is legitimately tough. Now, what will win, and to be quite frank with you, I'm okay with it because what Tom Cross did with Whiplash was fucking phenomenal. Like, if you want to be an editor, watch Whiplash, and that will actually get you the best 101 kind of training into editing. I think they're going to go with La La Land. However, my personal favorite would have to be it'd be Moonlight. And I
knew it.
Yeah, I think it. Listen, when you think about what they did in terms of filming basically 3 short films, but edited it in a way to where it felt cohesive, it didn't feel like it was jumping around, it felt natural. It was like, oh, he's a kid now, oh, he's a teenager, and hey, now he's an adult. And even the editing within the sections is so well done. It's not fast like a La La Land or Hacksaw Ridge or even Hell or High Water. It's more of like slow and like kind of lethargic, but it lets the scenes breathe a little bit. And I think that's kind of the beauty of editing and how you can really showcase the best performances and whatnot. So my personal pick is Moonlight, but I think La La Land's going to get it. But that's still an amazing pick because what Tom Cross did in La La Land is the same thing he did with Whiplash. And as soon as I left La La Land, I was like, God damn it, Tom Cross, you're a damn good editor. So, Terence, what about you, man? This is tough.
Yeah, this is tough. You know what? Like, same thing with you, how you feel about Moonlight, but I feel about another movie that should have been nominated for it. I feel like Nocturnal Animals should have been in there too. Because similar to what you said about how Moonlight transitioned from different time periods. Same thing Nocturnal Animals did, because it's like you're going through 3 different sections with Nocturnal Animals. Amy Adams' character, that's her story, and the beginning part of how the stuff actually originated. So I thought that did a great job too. La La Land, when I walked out of La La Land, that's one of the major points I walked out of. It's like, yeah, the editing is just on point. And honestly, that's my favorite editing of the year. So I'm going to go with La La Land for the win. But Moonlight, as a dark horse, could sneak up in there and take it for the win.
That's interesting you say that, because what primarily wins in editing or screenplay usually wins Best Picture. So, because when we get to Best Picture, I'm sure we'll debate it, but I have a feeling Moonlight might take Best Picture. That's just kind of like a foreshadowing pick right now, and so it might win editing. But if La La Land wins editing, I mean, it might be game over at that point. But another film I would have liked to have seen here, I don't know if, Terrence, you agree with this, fucking Silence.
Yeah,
the fact that you can make a 3-hour long movie essentially not even feel 3 hours long, and like it feels so sharp and precise with its editing, like that's kind of a crime it's not in here.
That's I don't know, because that's a movie. I feel like I felt its runtime. It's because it's a slow moving movie, okay. But I don't know. It's kind of hard. I would nominate Silence for something else more than I would do editing, though.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get to those categories when we get up there, because I'm a little pissed off that I didn't really get nominated for much, except for this following category: Best Achievement in Cinematography. We have Arrival, Moonlight, La La Land, Silence, and Lion. Terrence, you're up first.
All right. Now with this one, this right here is a tough one, because 4 of the movies out of this category I have on my personal list as the top cinematography in here. This is a tough category. Like I'm excluding Arrival, because honestly I can care less for that movie and whatever. But La La Land, Lion, Moonlight, and Silence. Man, this is really tough, because this is one of the categories I wish can have a 4-way tie where everybody can win and everybody can be happy.
Right.
But my goodness, La La Land has some great cinematography in that. Especially when you look at the cinematography in the poster itself, and that's the scene right there. It'll probably win for cinematography. But Moonlight, wow. And in Silence, man, my goodness. There's certain scenes in Silence that captures everything in the heartbeat. And in Lions, it's great too. It's I don't know. I'm really baffled with this one, because all these movies, aside from Arrival, is really great.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would go with La La Land, but the dark horses for me would probably be Moonlight and Silence. And I'll probably take Silence over Moonlight as for a slight edge. So for me, La La Land will win, but Silence can sneak up behind it and steal it for the win.
Fuck, we're in agreement again.
Wow! What is this?
Listen, I think you're right. I think La La Land's probably going to sweep cinematography, and I'm trying not to seem like we're on La La Land's dick the whole time, because we're honestly not. But what La La Land did with this cinematography, it just like with its editing, it had the energy. It was moving around everywhere. It never felt like it was abnormal cinematography. It just felt like it flowed with the characters. That opening shot alone, like with the poster shot, they were both one takes, which is pretty fucking impressive considering the fact that they stopped Highway on a fucking bridge in LA. That's incredible. So not only that, you have these nice dolly shots and tracking shots where you're following Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. It adds to the energy and spirit of the movie. So La La Land's probably going to get it, but I'm totally with Terence on Silence. What Martin Scorsese did on that one was really capture the beauty of oh shit, Terence, where were they? They were in were they in Japan?
Yeah.
I totally just blanked. Right. I totally apologize, because Silence is one of my favorite films of last year. But what he did was he captured kind of the beauty of the locations, while the horror of what was happening on a more human level. So it was very interesting to kind of see it in that regard. And some of my favorite shots from last year come from Silence. Terrence, I don't know how you feel about this sequence, but every time when Garfield was in a cage, the cinematography would show behind the bars and it would show through the slivers. Now, when the camera would move to the right or left of the cage, it would stop precisely on where the actors were in the sliver, and it was done flawlessly. And that's some good-ass cinematography right there. So, and they also had some really nice, beautiful slow-mo shots in that one. So, yeah, Silence is my personal pick, but it's probably La La Land, which is not a bad pick either. But Moonlight, though, gotta give a nod to that. That is a beautiful-looking movie, showing the beauty in where the location was at, which was basically kind of like in the poor area of like Miami or something like that. So I thought it looked gorgeous for where it was at and stuff, and especially on how brutal the movie was emotionally. It was well shot. It was a great contrast. So yeah, we totally agree on cinematography. Terence, you want to skip the best foreign language? I haven't seen any of these.
me on the same boat. I haven't seen none of these.
Okay, so we'll go and just pass on this. However, I do have a screener for Tony Erdmann, and I let Joel borrow my screener, and Joel actually liked it. So he said that Tony Erdmann would be his pick for sure for this category. So I'll get around to it eventually. All right. Best animated feature film of the year. This is also going to be an interesting one. We have Kubo and the Two Strings, The Red Turtle, Moana, Zootopia, and the one that popped up at the Golden Globes, My Life as a Zucchini. Now, I did see the trailer to that one. It looked cool. It looked like something Laika would make. It was stop motion. It was kind of like, it had like this Tim Burton creepy, eerie feel to it, but it was like kid friendly at the same time. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed the trailer, so I wouldn't mind checking out. This is one of those few categories where I've actually seen 4 out of the 5. The Zucchini one is the only one I haven't seen. I saw The Red Turtle because I got sent a screener for it. So let me say this. If I did not see The Red Turtle, Zootopia would have been my pick, hands down. I still think Zootopia is going to win. But my personal favorite is actually The Red Turtle. I really like that one quite a bit. So, and then Moana is really great. I thought that was really enjoyable. Kubo and the Two Strings is an amazing film, but what The Red Turtle did in terms of mixing animation with basically a silent film, that's pretty fucking impressive. So that's my personal favorite, but Zootopia is also a close favorite, and I think that's actually the one that's going to win. As far as ones that are omitted from this list, I don't really see anything that's omitted that I would consider to be on here. I didn't think Finding Dory was all that good in terms of like an actual whole film. There were parts about it I liked, but not as a whole. And that's about it. So, yeah, Red Turtle fave, Zootopia, probably going to win. Terence, where are you reading on this?
All right, this is where we're going to disagree. Honestly, my clear favorite and what should win and will win is Kubo and the Two Strings. That movie,
really?
Like I said before, yeah.
Okay, so before Terence and I argue, I will say this. I have been behind Laika Studios the whole damn time. I love Coraline, I love Paranorman, and I love Box Trolls. And Kubo and the Two Strings is another addition. If Laika wins the Oscar, which deep down I'm hoping it does, as my third pick. But if it wins, Laika's going to do very good business in the future because their films do not do well at the box office. So this win would actually help them. So that's very interesting that you would pick. I mean, what did you think of Zootopia?
Zootopia, I thought it was really good. I thought the script was good, but then as time went on, I kind of liked it less and less. Still a good movie, but I wouldn't pick it to win best animated features. It's a good movie, but for me, just movies in general, if for it to be great, if for it to be good, I gotta feel the same way I did about it when I first saw it. And Zootopia was one of those movies it just really sunk down for me. It has a great script. It has a great themes about racism and everything. But for me, Kubo and the Two Strings is just totally different as far as the animation goes, as far as the story goes. It's I always like movies that has layers, and Kubo and the Two Strings has layers to it, especially for an animated movie. And you don't get that a lot for animation movies, except for if it's like a Pixar movie. For me, what could win is Moana, because Moana is a really great movie. But for me, what should win should be Kubo and the Two Strings, because that's a movie that I love from beginning to end, and it still holds up for me today.
Do you think Do you think Zootopia is kind of worn off with you because it actually, like, give it another month and a half and it's almost been a year since it came out? Kubo and the Two Strings came out about 5 months ago. So do you think that the time has something to do with it too?
It's possible, but there's some other movies that I've seen this year that I've seen like maybe in March and April, and it's still in my top 10 of it. So I mean, it could be a factor though, but not. I think it's just for me, like Zootopia just leveled off for me.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I've seen it, 2 or 3 times, and I can totally understand that. So, but Kubo and the Two Strings, I need to rewatch, but seeing it in theaters was just a great experience. So, all right, we're getting into the final 6, guys. This is or final 7. This is oh fuck. All right, so best. It's gonna get harder as we go. So, best adapted screenplay. We have Arrival, Lion, Moonlight, Fences, and Hidden Figures. For me personally, I gotta go with my favorite movie of the year, which was Moonlight. I think that is a very well written script. It is a beautiful love story. It's got a lot of great characters. It's just really great dialogue. So I just think for all those in particular, Moonlight is my favorite. I think it'll win. However, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Hidden Figures or Fences took it. To be quite frank with you, I think they're the dark horses. Just because Fences is a really well-renowned like play, and it's been on Broadway and it's won a bunch of Tonys and stuff. Don't count that out. I wouldn't be surprised. Arrival could also sneak in there and possibly do some damage, considering how of a different take it was in the sci-fi genre. But for me personally, my favorite and it's got to be hands down Moonlight. Terence, what do you got, man?
Yeah, I'm totally with you on this one. Moonlight. First, I honestly thought like it was original. It was an original screenplay, but I looked on it. It wasn't. It's like that screenplay is so realistic and so authentic, and you can't say that a lot about movies today. And the way it's written, it's like real life. Be more like that today. Moonlight for me, it's like my favorite one here for adapted. But what could be a dark horse for me, it's Arrival, because a lot of people love Arrival. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but if anything, if Moonlight doesn't win, it'd probably be Arrival, because Arrival, I don't see anything. Maybe Best Picture, maybe, but I don't see Arrival winning anything after this or Best Picture. So that can be a dark horse. Fences, it's good. The screenplay. It's probably the direction I couldn't care less with, but Fences is one of those movies I hear from George. It's not as good as the play, but I still felt something after it. So I mean that can also be Dark Horse too. But my clear and favorite winner for this one is definitely Moonlight, because that Moonlight just it done something to me where it's like it's just so realistic, so real life that you feel something after. If you don't feel nothing after watching this movie, then you don't have a heart or soul.
No, you are definitely not human, and you should go crawl in a dumpster somewhere. The only reason I bring up Fences is because when they nominate these it's nominated for a reason, and I think because it's so dialogue heavy and it's so dense and like its messages and just its dialogue in general, it does have a good shot for sure. But like I said, don't count out Hidden Figures. I thought that was a really solid, like, true story that is told very epically. It's a movie for everyone. It's got some great themes in there, with some great speeches from dialogue. So I don't know, man. It's tough to kind of pick out what will win, but I think because the actual ceremony doesn't take place for another month, so our thoughts might change. But I think the Academy will probably pick Moonlight, which will be awesome because that is both of our favorite picks. So, getting into Best Original Screenplay, I'm going to shock Terence with my answer. But the nominees are Hell or High Water, Manchester by the Sea, La La Land, 20th Century Women, and The Lobster, which is just a side note. That's fucking awesome that A24's got 2 movies in this category. Just a real quick thing on The Lobster. I thought The Lobster was a pretty good movie. I actually am totally with it being in this category. It was one of the most original stories I saw last year, hands down. It's not my pick, but I totally agree with this nomination. 20th Century Women was also a very good movie, but just not, it didn't like excel on that level. La La Land
Mm.
is a pretty basic romance movie musical when you think about it. It's not really anything that's trying anything new. So now we're down to two of them.
Mm.
I think Manchester by the Sea will win it because what Kenneth Lonergan did with the characters and the dialogue and just the overall story, going back to what we were talking about with Moonlight, it felt realistic. You felt like you were watching these real people going through these real life situations. It felt natural. It felt organic. It never felt forced. It was so natural. But my favorite, I gotta go Hell or High Water. I think that was a great story, man. And when you find out what the brothers are doing and why they're robbing the banks, it's kind of a cool little story, and it's actually something you could actually see happening given the crappy state of our economy and like health insurance and whatnot. So I don't know. I really enjoyed it, and I had the kind of same reaction of when I saw Sicario. It's from the same screenwriter. Is that damn? That was a really like just interesting story. I loved the characters. I just loved how everything weaved in and out. It felt visceral. It felt like really kind of grounded and exciting. So my personal favorite actually is Hell or High Water, but will win is probably Manchester by the Sea. I know a lot of people are picking La La Land, and that might win, but I don't know. There's something about Manchester by the Sea that's kind of calling out to me. So, Terence, how do you see this category?
Oh, this is tough. Personally, my favorite, like all these are pretty good, good picks for nomination. The Lobster, I didn't particularly care for it, but the screenplay was really original and really out there.
Yeah,
I probably would have like added. I probably would add Swiss Army Man to that category too. But this is Hell High Water was good, but for me, it felt like a regular story. It needed more something to the plate. But for me, I love La La Land because for the fact is, like you say, it has a basic romantic story. But when you add the fact of musical to it, and the way it had a opening scene to the lyrics for the song add into it, that kind of gives me a slight edge over anybody else. But I would probably say that would win. But my personal favorite in here, other than the rest, is 20th Century Women.
Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah. That's a movie. I went to go see it. That was like the last movie I saw in 2016. That was a movie that, just like you said with Fences, has a lot of subtle themes to it. But the way it was written to it, it's like a coming age movie for like everybody that's in there, for men, women, like young adults. And that's a movie that, for me, is a strong dark horse. That's a movie that has a lot of layers to it. And the script in there is just totally great. So it's like, for me, I would go with La La Land, but I would love to see 20th Century Women win it.
Wow. Okay. Now listen. This is our initial reactions. I'll probably change my mind in a month. It's probably going to be La La Land. I just wish the Academy would spread the awards out a little bit more since it'll probably sweep everything. That's interesting because when I saw 20th Century Women, I picked up on a lot of the same stuff you were mentioning, and it is a movie for everyone, whether you're a guy or a girl, and it showcases, a teenager through her rebellious youth. It showcases a person in their 20s not really knowing what they want to do in life, and it also portrays like someone who is older and who's been through life a little bit more and whatnot. So it kind of showcases a little bit of everyone. And you're right; it's a really well done screenplay. It's tough. I mean, Terrence and I both have different favorites. It's probably La La Land, but I don't know, man. Manchester by the Sea was very well written. I hope that gets something because besides Casey Affleck, it probably won't get anything else. So I'm just trying to spread around the love a little bit, but yeah, I'll probably pick La La Land when we're filling out our ballots. So, all right, best achievement in directing. Here is a powerhouse. We have Denis Villeneuve for Arrival. We have Kenneth Lonergan for Manchester by the Sea. We have Mel Gibson for Hacksaw Ridge, which is very surprising in a good way. And we have Barry Jenkins for Moonlight and Damien Chazelle for La La Land. Terrence, this is your category. Take it up.
Man, I love this category. I really do. Because honestly,
they're all great.
Yes, all of them are great. And I'm like you said, like I'm really glad Mel Gibson got nominated for Best Director because he definitely deserved that. Because when I walked out that movie, that was a movie that said like you can see Mel Gibson's fingerprints all over it. But my winner here is Damien Chazelle because this is a musical. And he made this musical work from everything. I mean, as far as when it comes to directing the movie, you have to have your hands in like a lot of pots. And you see, it's the case here because La La Land is nominated for 14 different categories, and that's not a fluke. This is a great movie, and the reason because of that, Damien Chazelle, his direction in this movie is so passionate. It's like it radiates off the screen, and that's my pick for it. But I would love to see Mel Gibson get like a Best Picture, winning it. But this is Damien Chazelle's category to lose. He's got it locked. Honestly, just give it to him right now.
I agree. I mean, he's probably going to win it, unfortunately, because that's not my personal pick. My personal pick is Barry Jenkins for Moonlight, man. That movie came out of left field, and I didn't expect it. I didn't know who directed it. I just know that A24 released it, and I went because of that. And I, of course, Mahershala Ali, because I love House of Cards. So, but what Barry Jenkins did in Moonlight made me realize that we can progress in movies and film, and we can tell these stories that haven't really been told before and do it in a very masterful way right off the bat. And I fucking love what Barry did in Moonlight. But then look what Mel Gibson did in those war scenes in Hacksaw Ridge. You know that he's never lost his touch, and the fact that he's nominated is a huge accomplishment given the fact that he's been in movie jail for 10 years. Kenneth Lonergan in Manchester by the Sea, also a great pick, and Denis Villeneuve created a very, kind of more realistic, grounded sci-fi tale. So, to be honest with you, all 5 of these gentlemen should be in there. However, I gotta say it, Terrence. I'm gonna pull out Kenneth Lonergan, and I gotta put Scorsese for Silence. I have to.
Okay.
I really wish he would have. If he would have been in there, he probably would have been my pick, my favorite. But Barry Jenkins for Moonlight is my personal pick. But unfortunately, Damien Chazelle, which Terrence is going to hate it when I say it because I know I hate bringing it up. Damien Chazelle is our age, by the way, roughly. I think he's my age. He's like 27, 28. So, Terrence and I are around the same age. So the fact that Damien Chazelle is about to win his first Oscar around our age, it makes me kind of sad. But
man, that's something. What have I done? It's like this reminds me of Wanted. Like, what have you done with your life lately? Like, come on. Like,
we haven't done anything, but Damien Chazelle has created Whiplash, one of the best movies I've ever seen, and La La Land that's about to sweep. So, congratulations, Terrence. We suck. No, that's not the case because we host the best damn Oscar coverage ever. So, but yeah, Damien Chazelle will probably win it. Barry Jenkins is my favorite, but it looks like Terrence is gonna go La La Land all the way.
And you know what? Too, I probably would have added Tom Ford to it too.
Yes,
this category. Yeah.
Holy shit! I totally forgot about that, guys. I don't understand the hate for Nocturnal Animals. I realize that it's not for everyone, but it's a damn well crafted movie from a fucking fashion designer. And he comes from my neck of the woods, too. He's from Dallas, Texas. He is a fashion designer, and that motherfucker made a movie that would blow any, filmmaker out of the water, and he creates clothes. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, Tom Ford is a great pick, dude. Actually, oh, fuck. I think Terrence just did a switch on me. I would switch out Kenneth Lonergan for Scorsese, and I would switch out Denis Villeneuve as much as I love him for Tom Ford.
You know what? If that was the list right there, I would be totally satisfied with that.
Right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, that's a when you put those two in there, that's a solid list.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Damn, dude. Fuck.
I know.
God damn you, Academy. All right.
Yeah.
But I mean, Denis Villeneuve is a master of what he does, so I mean, I understand it. But if I had to pick, I'd put Tom Ford just because Nocturnal was my second favorite last year, right behind Moonlight. So I'm kind of biased. So, all right. So, guys, we're getting into the acting categories, and this is going to be a fun one because, fuck, these lists are making my head hurt. So, best performance by an actress in a supporting role. This is really amazing considering the fact that Oscars So White was a hashtag last year. Viola Davis for Fences, Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, which is really wonderful to see. This is also very wonderful to see and very big surprise. Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea, and Nicole Kidman for Lion. I had Viola Davis and Michelle Williams as a tie between my favorite. But believe it or not, since she was thrown in there, Naomi Harris is my personal favorite. Like what she did in Moonlight, just like with Chiron, she had a beautiful arc. If you see her in the first story, she's very normal. She's very competent as a parent. When you see her in the second story, she's starting to become very addicted to drugs. And when you see her in the third story, she's starting to go to rehab. And her performance all throughout, she's the only person in that movie that's actually in all three stories. And she's kind of the glue for Chiron and his character. And so the fact that she's in there, that's my personal favorite. However, let's make no mistake about it. Viola Davis is going to get her first fucking Oscar. So I think Viola Davis will probably win it. Second pick from the Academy will probably be either Michelle Williams. But my personal favorite is Naomi. But I think Viola will probably walk it home. So, Terence, what do you got, man?
I totally agree with you, too, with your pick. And especially, like, I didn't see Hidden Figures, so I couldn't say Octavia Spencer, but I'm glad that she got nominated. And Nicole Kidman for Lion, she was solid.
She was solid, yeah.
Yeah. But one thing to add to your point about Naomi Harris, her performance, I think she was like, she had a thing with her passports or whatever. So she can only do it in a weekend or a week. So she had to get all her scenes in like a short period of time. And added with that, that's a great performance out there. And like you said, she's in all three parts. So to do all that work within a week or so, that's amazing. Yeah. Amazing. And Viola Davis. What can I say?
The trailer scene is what gives it away, because they're going to show that at the Oscars. They're going to show the trailer scene, and that was the scene where I was sitting in the theaters going, she's probably going to win this.
I love Viola Davis. Like I was telling Jackson that she is such a fierce actress. There's nothing she cannot do. And this right here, this movie showcases her talent. I mean, if you don't watch How to Get Away with Murder, which everybody should, she's great in that. But this is a movie that really showcases her talent. She deserves the win. Michelle Williams, she's one of those actresses too. She always picks, I don't want to say the same role, but she picks very depressing movies, and she's great at it. She's great at it. What can I say? Like I say, pick something that you're good at, right? The only knock on her, it was not her performance, but it's the fact that she doesn't have a lot of screen time compared to the rest.
I will counteract that with this, is that Michelle Williams, she's literally in only 3 scenes, and that's not hyperbole, that is fact. She's in 3 crucial scenes in the movie, one of which is to show Casey Affleck and kind of their life together. The second one is kind of their first reunion of sorts, and that third one is the most important for Casey Affleck. And I would say that her nomination is warranted, because what I thought is that Casey Affleck was so stilted as a character, and she was the only one in the movie that actually broke him. And that's kind of really crucial for when he breaks down at the end. So I consider her role very important. I mean, look at Anne Hathaway. Wasn't she only on screen for 10 minutes and Les Miserables? So I think these are all great picks. I'm with Terrence. Nicole Kidman was solid. Octavia Spencer, I will say this. All 3 of them were good, but if I had to pick, like, my favorite, it was actually Janelle Monáe. Like, out of the 3, because Taraji P. Henson, she delivers a really good speech in the middle of the movie, and I thought she might have snuck in for Best Actress. But Best Supporting out of the 3 is Janelle Monáe, or Manel, whatever. I keep
no worries.
What is it? Dyslexia. I keep switching the names back and forth. Anyways, I thought they were both really good in Hidden Figures. So, yeah, this is a really strong category, to be honest with you. But now I'm with Harris. Personal fave, but Viola Davis, congratulations. You are going to win your first Oscar, which is pretty awesome. So,
and well deserved.
Well deserved for sure. All right. Best performance by an actor in a supporting role. Mahershala Ali for Moonlight. And it seems like I'm the only one online that can actually say it properly. It's not that hard, guys. Just fucking look. It's Mahershala. That's his name. Mahershala. That's his fucking name. I don't know why it's so difficult for people. Anyways, Terrence, I was watching something today, and people were like, best performance by actor supported role. I like the guy from Moonlight. I can't pronounce his name, but I like him. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's not that. Anyways, Mahershala Ali for Moonlight, Dev Patel for Lion, Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water, Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals, and the fucking surprise of Lucas Hedges for Manchester by the Sea. Terrence, you're up, man. What do you got?
Whew. First of all, you should get a nomination for pronouncing his name for Moonlight.
Perfect.
You really do. That's great. And without no stuttering, no nothing, smooth.
Hey, listen, Terrence, when he's in your favorite show, House of Cards, when he's in one of your other favorite shows, Luke Cage, and one of your favorite movies, Moonlight, you kind of have to learn how to pronounce his name properly since I love the guy so much.
I feel you. This category, it's great. Mahershala Ali was great in Moonlight, was solid. But for me, just like Michelle Williams, which you made a good point about Michelle Williams, which kind of changed my mind on her a little bit. But for him, he was only in the first half. I would have loved to see more of him.
Yeah,
like he's definitely was worth the nomination there. Dave Patel, he was good in it. He was solid. He was solid. Yeah, acting ranges in it. Jeff Bridges,
solid.
He was solid in that. But with him, I would have took him out and probably put Ben Foster into that role of supporting actor there. Lucas Hedges. That was a performance that was like, he was like a kind of, I don't want to say standout in the movie, but he was one of the comic reliefs in that movie. And then he was one of those dark horses too to get nominated, because I actually have him on my list to be nominated for Best Supporting Actor too. He was great in it for a young kid actor holding his own against Casey Affleck, Michelle Williams, and the other actors too. So I'm kind of glad he got nominated as well. But Michael Shannon in this movie, he was so great. He, like, people can say that, he's doing his Michael Shannon. He's playing himself, Michael Shannon. But if you're playing himself, he's great at playing himself, honestly. Like this, he was so great in this role. Like, he's one of those underrated actors that don't get a lot of love. It's like, he's a great actor that his performances are not over the top, but subtle in a way that's powerful. And Nocturnal Animals, he was a definite standout. Right behind Jake Gyllenhaal. This movie, he was great in this movie. Honestly, he's my favorite to win, but to be a dark horse, I got two dark horses, Mahershala Ali and Lucas Hedges as a dark horses. But for me, clear favorite for me is Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals.
Wow, I thought you would have went with Lucas Hedges.
I would love for him to win too. He's my dark horse. Like I said before with other categories, if you could have a three-way tie, I would love it. But Michael Shannon was my favorite one there. I'm so happy Lucas Hedges was nominated. Any other year, just like in 2014 with J.K. Simmons and Edward Norton. Edward Norton's my favorite actor, but if J.K. Simmons wasn't in it, it would have went to Edward Norton. But same thing here. If Michael Shannon was not in this category, I would have went for Lucas Hedges. Great performance though, but it has to go to Michael Shannon.
That's really tough, man. You made some convincing arguments.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
It's really tough because Mahershala Ali, yeah, you're right. He's only in the first act of the movie, but just like with Michelle Williams, he's very crucial to Chiron and his character and his kind of upbringing, because he's the one that, is his father figure. He teaches him about life, and he really kind of sets himself up for, when he gets older and whatnot. Listen, Moonlight was my favorite film last year. Nocturnal Animals was my second favorite. So I'm going to have this battle between Michael Shannon and Mahershala. And to be honest with you, because usually the Academy opens up with this award, so this is going to be the first one to go. And so I think they're going to pull a Golden Globes and choose Nocturnal Animals again.
Nice.
I think they're going to go with the dark horse. My personal favorite,
I know.
Don't strike me down, Moonlight Gods. I will go with Michael Shannon as my favorite and what will win. Now, that is a caveat, because it's still a month away, and I could change my mind. there is this slight inkling that tells me that Ali will win.
Mm.
And I would not be depressed. Because the fact that this guy has been working his ass off for years in the industry, just like with Michael Shannon, they both have been working their asses off for decades. And this could be one of their moments to finally win something. Because when you look at what Mahershala has done, just from last year, he was in 2 Netflix shows, and he was in one of the most critically acclaimed movies of the year.
And he was great in every single one of them.
He was great in everything. So I think they're probably going to pick him. But my personal favorite and what I think will win for right now is Michael Shannon. And just like what Terence said, Michael Shannon, who gives a flying fuck if he's playing himself? He's damn good at it. And he's so, like, he's got like a dark comedic sense of humor in the movie. He's very badass. He's very intimidating. Like, there's just so many layers to his character. And like, when you find out like what he's actually doing and like why he's doing things very questionably, you kind of root for him. You're like, Paul, please don't go. Like, I want you to survive. Like, so yeah, Terence, a little side story. I saw Nocturnal Animals twice. My second time was with my girlfriend when she came into town last weekend. And my favorite line, the first time and the second time, do you remember when Michael? And this isn't spoiling. This is just a line you have no idea what the context is. So calm down, everyone. What you remember when Michael Shannon was in the interrogation room? He went up to the guy and he's like, "Do you know Aaron Taylor Johnson's character?" And he's like, "Who?" And he's like, Are you an owl?" He's like, like, are you an owl, Lou? That's his name, Lou. He's like, "Are you an owl, Lou?" It killed me every single time. It's perfect timing from that character. He was a sheriff in the movie. He had that like dark, witty sense of humor. It was so good. Are you an owl, Lou?
Oh my goodness! Like you said, like he is so great, like subtle but powerful at the same time, man.
Yeah, I listen. Like I said, could change in a month, but I think they're going to pull a Golden Globes and pick Nocturnal Animals for this category again. So that would be kind of cool to see Michael Shannon actually walk away with something, since he's great in everything. So is Mahershala. So if one of those two guys gets it, I'll be totally fine.
Yeah.
And I hate to stay on this category, but there's a reason why Lucas Hedges was nominated. And I don't know, like, Terrence, what is the probability of him actually winning it?
This is tough. It's tough. I mean, his performance is great in that movie. He was the comic relief of that movie. Like, honestly, he's definitely one of the standouts there. Gosh, like, the probability of him winning, I would give him. I would knock Dev Patel and Jeff Bridges out. So it's pretty much like a 3-way race.
Yeah.
I give him a good, maybe 25% probability of winning out of the 3.
That's where I was shooting. It was like 25-30%. I mean, listen, the supporting actor and supporting actress, both categories are the strongest ones I've seen in quite some time. So congratulations to every single one of them. But well, we got to move on. we can't stall on it because we got 3 more categories to do. We have best performance by an actress in a leading role. We have Isabelle Huppert for Elle. We have Emma Stone for La La Land. We have Ruth Negga for Loving, which is very surprising. I didn't think that movie would get any loving. Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins, Sir Magoo. Natalie Portman for Jackie. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Who my favorite is and who should win all day, every day, Natalie Portman for Jackie. I've said this when I did the review. She delivers, I think, an even better performance than Black Swan, and I love Black Swan. Jackie is the pinnacle of her career. That thing was transformative. She was Jackie Kennedy. I never saw Natalie Portman. And Terrence, I think you'll agree with me, but the scene that sold it for me was the fucking blood scene after her husband gets shot and she's in front of the mirror wiping that blood off. That was the winning shot for me, and I was like, she's incredible in this. So now listen, what's probably going to win? I hate to say this, it'll probably be Emma Stone. And like I said, I'm not trying to hate on the movie. I just really wish they would spread the awards out. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it because I'm going to go against the Academy, Terrence. I think Natalie Portman will win, and she is my favorite.
You know what? And I would back you on that. I would definitely back you on that. Honestly, like I love La La Land. It's my top movies of the year. But as far as acting categories, I wouldn't nominate anybody for acting categories in La La Land. But Natalie, like you said, Natalie Portman, like you said, transformative. Now, her performance was a little shaky at one scene, but overall, that's one stellar performance. Because when somebody plays a real life person, I like to go on YouTube and see how they actually differ from the real person. And she was spot on. She was spot on. That's not easy to do, to play a real life character that's beloved like Jackie Kennedy. Natalie Portman, man. Wow. I mean, what will win? Probably La La Land, but what I want to win and should win is Natalie Portman in La La Land. Now, Emma Stone is solid in the role, and she did a lot. She did a lot with singing and acting, but it's not one of her greatest performances ever. Mm-hmm. I probably would take her performance in Birdman over this, if anything. It's a standard performance, but it's not better than Natalie Portman in this category. Meryl Streep, fine. I haven't seen Florence Foster Jenkins, Sir Charles, or whatever. She's probably good in it.
Sir Charles.
Ruth Negga, she was great. She was good in it, but she was. I kind of think she was outstaged by another actor in the movie. But this is honestly Natalie Portman's, for me personally, backing you up. This is probably Natalie Portman's title to win. She deserves it.
I really hope so, dude. I hope she wins her second one in a row because, like I said, La La Land will probably sweep. But in the back of my mind, I know that the Academy will probably go with the better one, which is Natalie Portman. And now, I know Isabelle Huppert won the Golden Globe for Elle, and I've said this once and I'll say it again. I'll continue to say it until the Academy Awards are done with and I'll shut up about this movie. But Elle is stupid. I fucking hated that movie, and I love Paul Verhoeven so much. I can't tell you how many times I've watched RoboCop, Total Recall, Basic Instinct, Starship Troopers. I fucking love that guy. But Elle was lifetime trash. I don't understand why people like it, but, and this is a huge but, Isabelle Huppert was good in the role. Didn't like her character. I thought she was stupid and idiotic. It was poorly written, but she did a good job, and I think her being in there actually is warranted. I'm okay with that. But the movie itself sucks a dick. So, moving on. Fucking Elle, man. I hate that movie. All right. This one is going to be probably easy for both of us, but I'm really curious to see where Terence lies on this. Best performance by an actor in a leading role. We have Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea, Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic, Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge, Denzel Washington for Fences, and Ryan Gosling for La La Land. Terrence, this is your category.
So you think it may be simple. Make me simple. I always might pull a wild card. Casey Affleck in Manchester by the Sea was solid. And his performance in there, with the character that he was playing, it was very subtle. I like to pick up on the subtleties. Just like the Mark Rylance was last year. Yeah, his performance was good. Nothing great, nothing spectacular or transformative. Viggo Mortensen in Captain Fantastic, solid performance. I probably wouldn't have nominated him, but hey, what happened? Denzel Washington always brings it. But to me, honestly, I wouldn't even nominate him this year. Honestly, he was a good performance. But when you think of Denzel Washington's career, he's done many great performances. So it's kind of like to his judgment that he's such a great actor, that he does so many great performances. This one was a solid performance. He wasn't bad in it. And Ryan Gosling, fine in the role. Just like I said about Emma Stone. La La Land, it's a great movie. Technical-wise, everything-wise, it's great. But I wouldn't have nominated any of the actors for La La Land. And honestly, I would have nominated Ryan Gosling for The Nice Guys over La La Land, honestly, because he was great at that. Because he showed more range in La La Land, in Nice Guys than he did in here. But for me, my favorite performance in this category is Andrew Garfield in Hacksaw Ridge. Honestly, I loved his performance. And honestly, it was kind of hard to do it too because he was in silence. He was great in silence. It was hard for me to choose Hacksaw Ridge or Silence. It's kind of like a tie for me. But for him to be nominated in Hacksaw Ridge just shows how great he is as an actor. what probably will win would be Casey Affleck because everybody's loving him right now. But for me, I would love Andrew Garfield to win for Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh, fuck. Well, first of all, I'm a little disappointed because your boy Denzel is not your favorite. Because I'm not just saying that because yeah, Terence is black. His Skype profile picture is Denzel Washington, so I know that he loves Denzel quite a bit. So I'm actually kind of with you. Denzel was really great in the movie, but I thought it was a great performance. But I think the three I would elevate just above. I gotta say right now, as much as I like Ryan Gosling in the movie, I don't think he should be in this like at all. Who would I replace? To be honest with you, you know what? Fuck the Academy. I want to put Andrew Garfield in there for both. I would take out Ryan Gosling and put him in there for Silence and for Hacksaw Ridge. Because in Silence, what a transformative performance to break down a priest like that emotionally. When you think of what Hacksaw Ridge is and how you test someone who's a pacifist, both of those roles are just out of this world. And I cannot believe that Silence... For me personally, Terrence, if Ryan Gosling had to stay in there, I would take out Andrew Garfield Hacksaw Ridge and put in for him in Silence. I think I love his Silence performance. Or shit, take out Viggo Mortensen. Listen, as much as I like Captain Fantastic, I didn't think that was a performance that was like, oh shit, Academy Award. I was like, thank you, Viggo. That was a good movie. I like that. So this is really tough. I think what's going to win is Casey Affleck. And to be quite frank with you, that's my personal favorite out of the 5 that was listed. Now, if Andrew Garfield was nominated for Silence instead, I'd be picking Silence as my favorite. But I'm not going to disagree with Terrence. I think Hacksaw Ridge is a fantastic film, and he completely drives that movie, especially with someone that doesn't even pick up a gun, and he's the most heroic person in the movie. It's based on a true story, so how can you not like it? But Manchester by the Sea. I will not say which scene, but Terrence knows which scene I'm talking about. When Casey Affleck is in the police station, and that scene happens, and his scene with Michelle Williams at the end, that was the moment for me that was like, Casey, this is your year. You deserve it. So, my personal favorite is Casey, and what will win will probably be Casey. But, I think, all these are solid performances, but the two that stand out for sure are Andrew and Casey, which, fuck, that would be an amazing turnaround if Andrew won. But for all you guys that don't know, the SAG Awards are a couple weeks before the Oscars, and typically the people that win the SAG Awards are the people that usually win the Oscars, so keep a lookout for that. And if Andrew Garfield somehow fucking wins the SAG Award, hell, he might win the Oscar, so I don't know. Casey Affleck is not a steal right now. I mean, he most likely is, but, give it some time. I mean, like I said, there's a reason why these people were nominated, so you never know. And plus, people still have to vote. They just voted in the nominees. Now they get to vote on the 5, so people might have a change of heart. I have no clue. And plus, I hate to bring it up, but I kind of have to. Casey Affleck's got some bad juju on him right now, and
I didn't even know about that either.
Yeah, and so that might affect him, because do you guys remember specifically last year in January? Oh my God, Birth of a Nation is gonna fucking sweep the Oscars, and now look what's happened. Now it's buried under the fucking rug because no one wants to promote it. I mean, I actually like Birth of a Nation quite a bit, and I thought, to be honest with you, if Nate Parker would have been nominated for Best Performance by an Actor, I wouldn't be offended. I would be like, oh shit, that's actually a pretty good pick. But look what happened to him. So I don't know if the whole Casey Affleck situation is going to hurt him, but most likely he's got it in the bag. So,
and you know what, too? I probably would have took out, if I would have added 2 more, I would have took out Viggo Mortensen and Denzel. I would probably add Joe Edgerton and Jake Gyllenhaal from Nocturnal Animals, because those performances were better than those two. So.
Fucking Nocturnal. Dude, Terrence is always bringing out the Nocturnal Animals, man. I fucking love that. Can you tell me briefly like how Loving was? Because that's actually one of the movies I missed this year.
Loving, oh man, I was really disappointed in Loving, because like Jeff Nichols, one of my favorite directors, he did Mud. Mud, I love, but Loving, it's very poorly edited, very slow, and the only thing about the movie that's great about it is the acting. Other than that, it's not that good. I mean, the information is there, but the directing is not making you feel emotional towards the story or what the characters actually went through. There's certain scenes in there that don't need to be in there. Everything was terrible. There's a scene there. It's like, why is that there? Like, it had nothing to the story or anything. It's like, okay, but yeah, honestly, Loving was probably one of my disappointments from 2016 because Jeff Nichols is such a great director.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Loving wasn't one of those movies that you don't have to rush out to go see.
Okay. I mean, like, I'm with you, man. I love Jeff Nichols quite a bit. I love Take Shelter. I love Mud. I didn't really care for Midnight Special, to be honest with you. And, you know, I've heard mixed things on Loving, so it seems like last year was not really his year. But that's okay. You can bounce back. All right. Guys, here it is. Best Motion Picture of the Year. We have 9 nominees, and they can always add up to 10, but they chose 9 this year. Why they didn't put Silence in here, I have no fucking clue. But the 9 that are nominated, we have Arrival, La La Land, Fences, Lion, Hacksaw Ridge, Manchester by the Sea, Hell or High Water, Moonlight, and Hidden Figures. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. My favorite, and I think, you know what, Terrence? I'm going to go against the grind.
Okay.
As of today, on the nomination day, I think they're going to give it to Moonlight. And I think Damien Chazelle will get it for director, and they're going to split it up that way.
Okay.
Because do you remember last year when I was so convinced The Revenant would get Best Picture, and you said, no, Spotlight's going to get it. And guess who won Best Director? Alejandro for Revenant. So I think they might divide it up again this year. Or, think about it this way, La La Land will get Best Picture, and Barry Jenkins will get Best Directing. I think that's what's probably going to happen. So my personal favorite, and what I think is probably going to win, is Moonlight. But La La Land is a very strong contender. To be honest with you, it's between the Holy Trinity. La La Land, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. Those are the 3 that are going to be your picks. But Moonlight, I think, I'm going to say it, I think it'll sweep the Best Picture. As far as other categories, maybe not. But I think they're going to give it to Moonlight.
You know what? That's not a bad way to go, honestly, because I can see, like you said, going that way. For me, my personal favorite is La La Land, because when I walked out of that movie, this is it. It may not be my favorite movie of the year, but it's the best picture that I've seen this year, as far as technical cinematography, editing, directing, and it deserves to be up there. So I'm gonna go with La La Land for winning Best Picture, and that's my personal favorite too. But Moonlight, like you said, I can see that being like sneak up behind us and overtaking La La Land. Like you said, it's a 3 horse race. It's La La Land, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. If you just exclude the rest of the movies and have those 3 in it, it's a tough one. Moonlight, I can definitely see you getting up there because it's a great movie. Like you said before, realistic, authentic. Barry Jenkins directed it masterfully. Editing is great. But for me, it's La La Land. But if Moonlight did win, I wouldn't be mad at it. Like in years past with Spotlight, which I got mad at winning. But anyways, that's another thing for another time.
I can't believe you fucking predicted that, because the whole 3-hour show, I told Terrence, like, nope, Leo got Best Actor, Alejandro got Best Director, it's going to win Best Picture, and you're like, no, it's going to be Spotlight. I was like, no, you're fucking wrong, and then look what happened.
I'm mad at myself that I was actually right on that. It's like, oh my god, it's a nice movie, but that movie is so overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if Moonlight won, I wouldn't be mad at it though, because like.
So Terrence, I gotta ask you then, what is your one dark horse pick that isn't those 3? You just gotta pick one.
Oh, pick one?
Just one.
Okay.
What is the one that actually has the best shot out of all the rest besides those 3 to actually sneak up?
Being objectable, if that's even the word, I'll probably say Arrival would be a dark horse, because a lot of people love Arrival. And I think it's overrated to me, if you ask me. But Arrival, I think, would kind of be a dark horse besides those three movies.
I'm gonna do something different than you. I'm gonna do Hidden Figures.
Okay.
I think Hidden Figures has a good chance of sneaking in there for whatever. I don't know. It's just one of those movies that stick out to me. Like, listen, it's loved by a lot of people. It's made a lot of money. It's a very good real life story. Those are really nice, wholesome movies. So, I mean, I don't know, man.
You know what? I hated that movie because I didn't see that movie. I said all last year I'm saying to myself, I saw 100 plus movies this year. I'm confident I saw every Best Picture nomination. Then boom, Hidden Figures pops up, and then I saw 8 out of 9. It's like,
Terrence, you should have listen. I always tell Jackson this, like, you two need to just live in Dallas. That way, when I go to these press screenings, I can take guests with me. You can come to them with me because they usually send us to all these like Oscar like picks like pretty early on because they want to get our vote. So yeah, I saw Hidden Figures like a couple months ago, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. To be frank with you, I thought it was a really solid movie.
Okay, I gotta see it. I gotta see it.
Yeah,
but I'm glad it got nominated too because especially with 3 leading black ladies actresses. And with the story that he's dealing with, I'm glad that it has some recognition to it.
Well, and it's not only that. When you look at 3 of the 9, Fences, Hidden Figures, and Moonlight, holy shit. Like, considering the fact that the Academy's got, like, this knack for being old, white, and crusty. I mean, I don't think people understand when they say it, but when people talk about Moonlight, they go, it was an important movie. Do you know why it was important, though? Because the main character was the 3... things that are rarely ever seen in movies, and especially since it's the same character. When you are black, gay, and live in a bad neighborhood, those are hardly ever depicted in film. And the fact that it was depicted in such a realistic manner, that is why it's important, because it broke new grounds for what is acceptable to audiences now. Like, you're talking to the same country that came out with, speaking of Birth of a Nation, a very racist propaganda movie back in the day. And now when you see movies like Moonlight, you go, wow, in like a span of 100 years, we have progressed to this point. That is amazing. And you know what else is amazing about Hidden Figures? There are some people online, and rightfully so, because it's not taught in schools. They go, Hidden Figures, that was based on a real life story. Why didn't we learn that in history? Yeah, because that was a huge turning point in the civil rights movement, and so was Fences. Like, that whole story, like, I don't think people realize when they say, oh, it's important, like, you need to know why it's important. And it's not just because I'm white and I don't know black culture. I mean, I try to get into every culture, Terrence, and I try to learn and understand and stuff. And when I walked out of Moonlight, I'm not even joking when I say this, there was someone at the screening that I went to school with. He is actually a gay, young, black individual. And I asked him straight up, I said, how was the movie? And we both had the same reaction where it was like, that was kind of breathtaking. Like, it's actually, I would consider Moonlight to be a masterpiece as the years go by. And I think it'll actually hold the test of time.
Wow, that's something.
I mean, Terrence, do you remember, like, when the trailers were coming out? And you know how, like, in trailers, like, all the critic quotes are like, it's a masterpiece. And I go, it's not a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, just calm down, fellas. Like, it's not that good. And when you walked out of Moonlight, I was like, yeah, I would. If someone had to pick a movie to describe 2016, especially with politics and stuff and how we feel, Moonlight is definitely the one to, like, stand up above the rest and be a fucking middle finger to, people that are regressive. So,
yeah, man, I agree with you too, man. Because like you said, you got to know why a movie is important. Do your history, open your mind up more, because like movies are sometimes fiction or whatever, and they're like, take liberties or whatever. But movies also open the door to learn about more stuff that's based on true history. Yeah. So if it's a gateway for that, then I'm glad that it opens the gateway for the people to learn more about these important figures in life. Honestly, so
this isn't. I'm not being facetious. I'm actually like, this is actually true. When I saw Hidden Figures, Fences, and Birth of a Nation, the theater was packed with 400 people. Terrence, I want you to guess how many white people were in there, including myself.
1.
It was 3 max for each screening. When I saw Fences, there was 300 African Americans in there, and I was the only Caucasian. And I was like, what the fuck? And you wonder why these films don't get made, because no one sees them. And I like what Terrence said, I wish people of all different races and cultures would see movies like this and like just experience something different. And who knows, you might be fucking inspired. You might learn something from Hidden Figures and learn that these 3 African American women fucking stood up to these white crusty assholes and was like, no, my math is correct. You cannot shun me because of my skin color. And it's like, it's just inspiring stuff that movies like this are being made. And I wish more people would see them, because when I saw Hidden Figures, once again, it was an uproarious crowd, but I swear to everything, there may have been maybe 5 tops. And I'm like, why aren't like people of many different ethnicities seeing these movies? Like, it just bugs the crap out of me. And Terence, it's cool to talk to you about, because you're a young black man yourself, and I'm a young white man. So like, we know what country we live in. We know how divisive it can be. So having these films can help, like you said, break that barrier.
Yeah, because even sometimes too, like I'd be expecting where I live at in New York to get crowds like that, mostly like to see black movies. When I went to go see Selma, it's like, okay, I thought mostly going to be black people there or whatever. I saw it in pretty much a high class area. And I'm thinking, okay, it's just going to be normal black people or whatever. To come to find out, it's like a decent amount of white and black people there. And it's like, sometimes it surprises me to the fact that people are actually open-minded to those type of movies. And we gotta go past that, the fact of color, black and white. It's people are, if you bleed, you're gonna bleed red. So it's no different.
Yep.
So, I mean, people are important no matter what skin color they do. Like in Hidden Figures, you got 3 black ladies helping men go to space. Moonlight by a gay black man. I mean,
that's unheard of.
Yeah, exactly. It's unheard of. And then for it not to be seen by most people, it's a travesty, because a story is a story no matter what it's told, who's told by, or who's actually in it. Because a story it's transcendent regardless of skin color. Honestly, I mean, we really gotta look past that as a country. I mean, it's gotten better, but it can be improved.
Well, and I think it definitely depends on where you live, because I live in Texas, and I think Terrence knows where I'm going with this. This is an extremely red state. I am definitely not in the red category. I'm more of like a liberal progressive, so maybe that's why I'm one of the few Caucasians in each of these screens, because I'm in Texas, and that people are not as open-minded here. But no, it's nice to, out of the 9, see 3 films like that. They're super powerful like that. And it's like you said, just real quick, and we'll wrap it up, because I know we're going on a soapbox, but I mean, this is a perfect opportunity to talk about these movies, because I'm not just saying Moonlight's my favorite because I'm white and I feel guilty. I like it because, first of all, it's well done on every single category. When you want to talk about the beautiful, colorful cinematography, the powerful performances, the sharp writing, and the relatability, what Terrence said is important. Moonlight is a love story for everyone. Doesn't matter like what your orientation is, what your skin color is. It's a movie for everyone. And when you watch it, you go, yeah, these are just 2 dudes falling in love. That is a story you can relate to, whether you be hetero or a homosexual. Like, it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful love story. And I think that's what is important. You got to look past all that and go, yeah, that was just a really great movie. So, I don't know. Hopefully, I will say it once and I'll say it again. And I'm sure Terrence and I will say it on the awards night. Go see Moonlight. Go see Hidden Figures. Go see Fences. They're very good, important films that a lot more people need to see. So, I will say that Hidden Figures is doing very well. It's almost about to break the century mark, so that's doing very well. I think Moonlight's only made about $15 million, so go support that, please. So yeah, that is it, guys, for the 89th Academy Award nominations. Terrence, that was fucking fun, man. I always have fun with that shit.
It was.
So yeah, let me know about you guys' picks down below, what you guys think of how the Academy Awards is going to be. And Terrence and I will be back on, let me pull up my calendar because I don't have it. I believe it's last Sunday in February, but got to pull it up first. So, wasting time while this is live. Come on, calendar. Fucking assholes. Seriously. All right. So the actual Oscars are held on February 26th, and Terrence and I will be live. We'll cover the whole 3 hours. We will have our ballots. We'll have them marked up, and we'll get to see who's the victor. I believe, Terrence, you, out of the 2 we've done, you've You've won both times, right? Because I've done pretty poorly.
No. I won the first one, and then you won the second one last year.
Yeah, even with my spotlight loss.
Because I think it was something I had changed one of my categories, and I should have kept it, and that's what kind of knocked me off.
Yeah, I do remember that because I remember you were just like, "Fuck, why did I change it at the last second?"
No, man.
So yeah, join us live for the Oscars, guys. It's a lot of fun. I always like doing it with Terence. So Terence, what is your Twitter handle so people can follow you?
All right, you know what? I almost forgot about my Twitter handle. Okay, there you go. At Mr. TPJ on Twitter, and then if you want to follow me on Letterboxd, under my name, Terence Page.
Awesome. And you guys can follow me on Twitter at Real Chase Lee. Subscribe to all this stuff and make sure you spread this around and tell people that this was a really cool, interesting Academy Award talk from myself, Chase Lee, and Mr. Terence Page. So we'll see you guys for the Academy Awards on February 26th. You guys are fucking awesome. Let's play that outro music, son. Peace. And that is